I'm live. Hello, everybody. Let me move you a little bit. There we go. Okay. What have y'all been up to? I'm looking at the screen here. I'm looking at the screen, but not the camera. Anyway, been an interesting week. I have one more load, and I will have my shop completely moved. I will be completely that chapter of my life. The old house will be done. Hey, good to see everybody. I can't say hi to everybody, uh, but I'm glad you're here. Thank you for coming. I want to talk about abortion, but I want to not get right into it because I just want to enjoy your company for a little while because what I have to say might run off subscribers. So let's just chat. I I've come to a decision about my shop. Hey Dina, good to see you. I see you. Wait one too. Good. Hey Mike, Chase. I've come to a decision about my shop. I'm not going to have two separate shops for two reasons. One reason is that I have some money saved that is specifically for getting my shops in order. But the thing is, it's not that much money. And if I spend that money on one shop, making one shop nice, getting the things I need, building it the way I want to, it will end up being more what I want in the end. So the garage, I'm going to spend some time and money. Hey, Betty, good, glad you can make it. Spend time and money on the garage to make it my welding, uh, lawnmower, weed eater, chainsaw, knife making shop. You come to Louisiana? Hey, Greg, good to see you. Darren, glad you made it. Uh, okay. I can't get any more of these BCtruck cups, but this is my last one, and it has seen better days. Oh, okay, Tyler Schick down south. Hello, Wesley. Good to see you. So anyway, that's the shop. I sold that truck that was in there. Hey, movie maker, popping in and out. Okay. Just a little bit of everything, Darren. HNX Media. Hello. Took off work, huh? Wow. Hey, Justin. Darren, I'm going to talk about abortion later on, but I don't want to get right into it uh, because I might get emotional and have to shut this off. And just leading up, just thinking about, I don't even want to talk about it right now. I am going to talk about it before the night is over. So I just wanted to talk about my shop for now and the progress I've made. And my God, what a daunting task it's going to be. I know it won't be that once I get in there and trucking story, please. Once I get in there and start moving stuff around, I know that I'll start enjoying it. But right now, the way I feel after all these months of moving, all the stress of trying to get this mobile home set up here, all the stress that the post office lady caused us, I am ready to just have a break and have some easy, enjoyable time because every day it's been go, 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 go. Be aware, AI. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You're right. Hey, Rob, good to see you here. No kidding. You passed by, huh? Well, too bad you couldn't stop in for coffee, but glad you're working. So I sold the truck. I didn't get much for it. Here's the thing. Uh, there's no title. It had been wrecked. and I only got $450 for it. And to be honest, I was glad to get that. I looked it up on Kelley Blue Book, and with the miles it had in good condition, it was only worth about 1,500. So the thing was in worse than bad condition. It was wrecked and had no title. So it was basically only good for the engine, transmission, rear end, maybe the bed or the cab. So $450 was fair, and it got it out of here. Hello, Speed Racer. So now I got to clean that trailer out and take some pictures and put it on Craigslist and see if I can sell that. I don't really know what to ask for that. I'm just going to throw a figure out there of $8,500, and somebody comes and looks at it and they want to negotiate some, we'll go from there. I have a 15 kilowatt natural gas generator that is going to be for sale. It's got all kinds of boxes and disconnects that I'll have to take off. I almost want to sell it with the trailer just so I don't have to disassemble everything. Hey, country boy, RBKB. Any mail today, Roger? Oh, you're not asking me. Okay. Hey, Darla. So that's where I'm at. The mobile home has a portable building attached to it. It's part of they use it as their dining room, and I haven't decided if I'm going to sell that or not. I don't know for sure. I may turn part of that into my leather shop because I can't do the leather work in the same place that I make the knives, because making the knives is really messy and it gets on everything. And I don't mind it getting on my tools, but I can't have it getting on my leatherworking stuff. Hey, Brian, spelling error. Hope you want the Pats for the Super Bowl. Well, I'll tell you the truth. I've watched one or two football games in my entire life. I am not a sports guy, but I watched this last game against New Orleans, and they were robbed. And not the last game, but the game before that. And yeah, if I do watch the Super Bowl, I will definitely be rooting for the Patriots. Hey, Ricky, good to see you. Paulman, you made it. The side of lake. Well, that's cool. Huh. Greg, did I say hello to everybody? I think I got everybody. So, yeah, I'm not a big football guy, gay guy. Wow. But I may watch the Super Bowl just because I have a big screen TV, and my wife watches more football than I do. And she even knows how to play the game. I don't know what a down is, first down. None of that's just right over. I have no idea how to play the game. I've never had an interest in sports. I've always been a shop guy, and that's where I spend my time. Hey, Toby from Montana or a mountain? I don't know. Or it could be empty. I don't know. So, yeah, it's really sad. Yeah, no, you don't do football either. Yeah. I'm not anything against football. I just, if I'm sitting in front of the TV, it's, usually the history. Charlie, Alan, it's the History Channel, documentaries, that kind of thing. I'm not like some egghead, but you're in Marrero. Okay. Yeah, that's right. I remember that. I'm not like some egghead, but I just don't get anything from sports. When I was a kid, I played hockey. And I know, looking at this large body, you wouldn't think, but I used to ski when I was a kid. I skied everywhere. I skied all over Europe, skied the Alps, uh, skied in Switzerland, Austria, Northern Italy, and then this happened. And when I also played tennis when I was a kid, but I never played baseball, football. Played a little basketball. Hey, Junior, good to see you. Furlough. All I know about, yeah, football. Let's hit it with a. That's good, man. Oh, and you got to wear football skates too. So, hey, Moby, good to see you, man. Moby Dave, Dina. Yeah, Yeah, and I've known people that were heavy deep into sports. And I used to joke with a friend of mine who used to pick at me a little bit, good naturedly, uh, about, he was a football fanatic. And he would joke about me coming over to his football party and serving sandwiches and making the hors d'oeuvres and stuff like that. And hey, Chris, good to see you. God, Kevin, you made it, man. Hey, y'all, do you remember Kevin Bacon? He did not die. He's here in the comment section. I got to thinking about Curious Yellow Solar. Hello. I got to thinking about Kevin today. Actually, I ran across one of his old videos about rocket stoves, and I got to thinking about Kevin, and I did a little bit of research, and I found a phone number. I won't tell you where. And there was two phone numbers, and I called the first one, and it was this mean lady that says, Kevin live here. What you calling my number for? I said, sorry, man, sorry. So I called the next number, and it was Kevin. So, yeah, Kevin did not die. So he's healthy, and really glad to hear him. And I tell you, I didn't think Kevin died, but here's what got me to missing old friends. This picture here was drawn by a friend of mine, a YouTube friend, and his name was Mojo60. And I became friends with Mojo. And hey, Brent, good to see you. And over the course of about a year, he told me one day that he was paralyzed, and I'm thinking, okay, he's had a stroke and he can't move his left arm or something like that. No, this guy was a quadriplegic. All he could move was he had some tiny bit of motion in his right hand, and he could operate a joystick. And he couldn't move his head. He couldn't do anything. Well, he could move his head a little bit because he drew this. Let me see. Where do I hold this? He drew this with a pencil in his mouth, and his name was Rick. And this means a lot to me because he's passed away. And I ordered I've been keeping it in this tube because I didn't want any damage to come to it. And every once in a while, I get it out and look at it. Rick was a great guy. And this is the nicest gift anybody's ever gave to me, knowing that the amount of effort that went into this. So I decided to get a frame and hang it up in here. And while I was looking at it, I got to thinking about all the friends I've had through YouTube. And Kevin was one of them. And I'm glad I found your number, Kevin. So it was really good talking to you on the phone. And I'm glad you didn't think it was some crazy guy. I had to tell you who I was. And Brad who? BCtruck. I never heard of him. Hey, V-Board. So anyway, that was a nice topping of the day, I guess. Mike, I just got rid of all my CBs. I know you're a CB guy, but let me tell you, I was going to give away, y'all know the story. But anyway, I ended up selling all my CB radios and to a guy just a couple hours ago. Yep, been a long time. Been a couple of years. And I really used to enjoy your live streams and your videos, and I hope your internet speed, I hope you can get a better connection and go back to giving us some videos from your shop, because I really like you in your shop. You had a lot of good projects I enjoyed watching. God, I can't wait to get back in my shop. And I know it's daunting and I'm dreading it, but once I get going, I know I'll like it. So let's see. I have a okay, Mike. Shock withdrawal for sure. I haven't made a knife in so long. I'm going to have to go back to square one and start learning all over because it's been that long. I have two cut out, one for my son in Houston. Second one will be for my friend Kevin, who cuts the trees. And then I'm going to make another one for my state cop son, Nathan. How cold is it? You know what? I don't know how cold it is. Let's just have a look here. It's too cold, I guarantee you that. Right now it's 52, which is about 20 degrees too cold. My shop will be 24 by 24. Hello, Hard Truth. Hey, Billy Bob, good to see you. Yeah, it's going to be about 24 by 24, which is smaller than my old shop. But my old shop had a lot of waste. It had a bathroom in it, and it had a storage room. So I lost a lot of space to that, even though the building itself was bigger. But I am going to put a bathroom in this shop, and what it's going to be is a funnel with a hose going outside. So actually, it's surrounded by wood, so the bathroom could be anywhere out there. But I might just stick a funnel in the wall and run a hose outside. Uh, 39 in central New Mexico. Minus 18. Oh my God. Oh my God. Minus 34. Wow. Hello, Tony Nichols. I almost missed you there. Nick Brown. Good to see you. I think I saw you before. What did Uncle Buck do in his show? Oh, yeah. Funnel and hose. Yeah. So I thought it was my idea. Going to be 72 tomorrow. Where are you, Curious Yellow Solar? Hey, Duff. Good to see you, man. Rolling Smoke. Wesley Carr. Stephen P. In Florida. You're in Florida. 44 in South Carolina. Christmasville, Tennessee. Huh. You're on the Gulf Coast, huh? Hey, Jim. Okay, West Central Florida. Okay. Let me tell you a little bit more about the post office. I actually went in there today and saw that lady. I feel sorry for her. I really do. I mean, even though she caused me a lot of grief and a lot of stress, she is truly one very, very unhappy and disturbed person. And rather than hatred and anger, I feel sorry for her. I don't know what the reason is. Smith and Wesson, hey there. I don't know what the reason is for her to be so unhappy and miserable and treat people like that, but I can't feel anything but sympathy for her for being that unhappy. And if she was just the slightest bit friendlier, I'd talk to her. I'd show her a picture of my grandkids and, be friendly to her. But she's, hey, Tim Beverly, but she's so, Noah's Ark, she's so unfriendly that I don't even bother doing more than the very minimum talk to her, here's my package, here's my money, that kind of thing. But here's another thing. Let me see if I don't know if I can show you anything. How do I show you something on my screen? Maybe I'll Google it later. I'll tell you about it. I got a letter from John Cornyn, Senator John Cornyn, telling me that he planned on opening a congressional, what do you call it? Hold on, give me a second. I'm going to read it. Office of United States Senator John Cornyn, congressional, what's it called? I got to download this. Okay, thank you for your correspondence regarding your difficulties with the United States Postal Service. I certainly understand the importance of this issue to you. As your United States Senator, one of my highest priorities is to serve you as liaison with the federal government and its agencies. I understand how challenging it can be when dealing with the bureaucracy, and I am pleased to offer my assistance. However, the Privacy Act of 1974 requires me to have your written authorization before obtaining personal information from a federal agency on your behalf. What does it say? Okay, congressional inquiry. Before he can proceed with a congressional inquiry. Wow. So this lady, where was I? Where are you? There you are. Okay, we're back. So this lady was, she was going to get in some trouble, I think. And the people that called me, about 5 days after I started getting my mail again, the people that called me was the Postal Regulatory Commission from Washington, D.C. What did Xander do? Well, I'd have to go look. I do expect some trouble. I don't know how far I want to go into it. Oh, yeah, okay. Look, let's just get rid of him because there's no redeeming yourself when you've come here to leave that. But remember, this is still. I'm sort of at a loss for words for this. This person just doesn't get it. Somebody, and I'm still not going to identify him, and I'm not even going to tell you what he wanted because that will identify him. What he wanted people to buy him. But I didn't mention him, his name. I didn't mention his GoFundMe. I didn't mention what he wanted because I didn't want to identify him. So I did the right thing by not identifying him. And I wasn't specifically talking about him. I was mentioning I get requests from people all the time to shout out their GoFundMe. And I look at it and it's always for something that's not life threatening or necessary or, it's usually something they want. And this was too. But he had a little twist. He was injured in Iraq 10 or 15 years ago. And he's had jobs since then, but this injury hurt him where he can't work anymore or something. I don't know. And then he played the veteran card with me. And I always chuckle when people play the veteran card because I don't make a big deal about being a veteran. It's just something I did and moved on with my life, which most people do. But some people, man, they do one thing in their life, and for the rest of their life, they have to remind you about this one thing they did, I can understand if you put 20 or 25 years in, that's a big thing. But if you did your short bit and you got out, just do what everybody else does, man. Go on with your life. Have a life. I mean, if you want to stay in, that's a big chunk of your life. I understand where you would talk about that a lot. Trucking was 35 years of my life. I talk about that a lot. But this guy, man, he got really offended. Now, I didn't mention him, didn't call him out, didn't identify him in any way. And so he had other people come, and I removed their comments and leave comments about, my video and calling him out and stuff like that. And if I was a real veteran, I would have gladly, pimped his GoFundMe. And I had conversations with one or two of them. And then I just deleted. What's going on here? I thought I deleted that guy. Hey, G Free. So anyway, I just deleted, I blocked him and his buddies and relatives and kids and father and cousins because it got really old. And what a freaking drama queen. He left me he wrote me an email this freaking long about how he hurts and I should take pity on him. What did it say? Betrayed him. He said I betrayed him. I don't see how I could betray somebody who I didn't identify, but he's playing like we were buddies or something. And, we had an email or two between us. He won something and I sent it to him. And then there was an email or two between us. Nothing big. Hey, BC. Yeah, there's another BC, and he's nowhere near as handsome as me, by the way. Oh, he's a friend of mine. He's a friend of mine, Ann. He's funny. We just joke. That's okay. Come back. Hey, BC, come back in a couple of minutes. She timed you out for 300 seconds. Just take it like a man. And not everybody gets your humor. So anyway, there's that. And I moved on from that. And over the years, I've made decisions not to take free stuff. No, he's not a troll. He's a friend of mine. We just joke a lot. He's jealous because he has all this goofy hair on his head. I don't know what his problem is, Trigger happy. Hey, Rick, Arkansas Prepper. Good to see you. And you know what I was talking about. Yeah, I don't take free stuff anymore and review them. It's okay if people do, but I just don't because it's not me. I've never felt right about it. And if other people can do it, that's fine. Uh, I'm not judging anybody. Smith and Wesson, why are you sitting quietly? Oh, yeah. You know what? Don't act up around Wheat Tree. She will shut you down. Not Wheat Tree. And I'm sorry, Wheat Tree was a moderator, but she she's not anymore. She's my friend, but we we had trouble. We both had trouble with the troll, and thank God that troll. That was the most annoying troll. Anyway, gone. And well, we tree knows why he doesn't bother us anymore. We got some information about exactly who he was, where he lived, his criminal history, his military history. Kicked out. If you let your hair grow, it turns into an afro. Yeah, if I let my hair grow, it turns into scalp. So let's see. How long have I been talking? 22 minutes? Let me take a few more sips of my coffee. And then we're going to talk about abortion. Hey, Frank. Holy crap. That's taken. That is good coffee. This is Sam's coffee. Really good. Only ghost with an afro, huh? Yeah, whatever length I trim my beard, I just run the razor up and cut the little stragglers, whatever's left up there off. I cut everything the same length. So about 2 years ago, I watched a video that I should not have watched. Maybe it was 3 years ago. You know what? It might have even been longer than that. But to this day, I have not been able to wipe that video out of my head. And I made a mistake watching it. I don't know what I was thinking. And what it was the ISIS cutting somebody's head off. And it was on YouTube. And since that day, I've asked myself, what has to happen to your heart, your soul, in order for you to take a knife and put it at somebody's neck, a living, breathing person, and cut their head off? What happens to you inside that lets you do that? And the other day, yesterday and the day before, New York just passed a law where it's now legal for women to abort a baby right up to the day of its due date. And to me, I've thought all day about this, and honestly, my vocabulary is not big enough to fully express the absolute bewilderment that I have. What kind of doctor, number one, what kind of woman could let a baby grow in her so long that when it's delivered, it's a breathing, living, heartbeat human that cries and poops and wants to be held and loved on? I couldn't even hurt a dog or a cat. I just can't wrap my brain around how people are accepting this. What kind of person could let someone kill their baby? They're using here. I wrote some stuff down today. They're using keywords to make you accept this, not us, not me. They're calling it a healthcare issue. And they're not calling it a baby, they're calling it tissue. Maybe in the first trimester, you could actually get away with calling it tissue or referring to it as something other than a human. But the second and third trimester, there is no doubt that it is a living, breathing, heartbeat human that could live outside your womb. They're calling it a woman's healthcare issue, which is just code for if it's no longer convenient to be pregnant, you can murder the baby. And then I got to thinking, just like the guy who could pick up a knife and cut another human's head off, that is what it would take for a doctor to murder a child that could live and have a happy life and somebody would want. I used to keep my mouth shut about this because I can't get pregnant. I've tried. It won't work. But it's just like bank robbery and murder and car theft. I have a right to have an opinion on whether I think it's right or wrong. And I have a right to have an opinion on whether this is murder or not. And I think it's murder. I am just appalled at New York. How did this happen? Margaret Sanger is referred to as the mother of Planned Parenthood. She's Planned Parenthood's hero. And she's done, Planned Parenthood has done nothing to separate themselves from Margaret Sanger's philosophy. Margaret Sanger was a racist, with no doubt, and she made no attempts to hide it. Margaret Sanger gave speeches to the KKK and was a member. I have lots of information up here. If I could figure out how to show you the screen that I'm looking at, I would do it, but I don't know enough about this to do that yet. In New York, up to the day of birth, they can kill the child right up to the due date. Well, I don't think it's up to us to decide whether we want the offspring of people who don't want their children in our gene pool. It's just like we don't, do we get to say, people who are severely retarded, we get to abort them? I mean, do we get to pick and choose? We don't. So there's nothing right about it. There's no gray area. And there's no middle ground here. You are either for third trimester, partial birth abortion, or you're not. I don't think there's anywhere in the middle to stand on this. There's no extenuating circumstances. So Margaret Sanger. Oh, here's another key word that women say: we're not going to let you control our bodies. Well, it's your body up until you have another living human in it that could be perfectly viable outside your womb. I don't think you get to kill it just because it's no longer convenient. Margaret Sanger, she was involved in eugenics. Eugenics is eliminating flaws in humans, such as, in her case, black skin. She was definitely, her purpose in starting Planned Parenthood was to stop black people, who she viewed as more fertile than other races, from procreating so often. She called black people human weeds and a menace to civilization. This is Margaret Sanger, the mother of Planned Parenthood. The mother of Planned Parenthood is abortion clinics. So anybody who would take money from Planned Parenthood in this day and age, which the governor of Virginia just did recently, $2 million, they're supporting this racist organization. A human baby is perfectly viable and can survive outside the womb with 90% chance of survival at 26 weeks. A full-term pregnancy is 37 to 40 weeks. That's 90%. If this child is born at 26 weeks, 90% of them will survive outside the womb without any medical intervention, besides the normal care that a baby would get. And I just don't know what to think. It frightens me, truly frightens me, to think that we've become this in our country, that we're allowing this, that there's not people with pitchforks and torches storming town halls and taking their country back from these demons. And that's what I call them. They're satanic. They've had a satanic veil pulled over their eyes that helps them to think it's okay to do this. And when they become the majority, and I am afraid that it's quite possible. You know, look, I never expected the Democrats to become the majority in the House. It was a shock. And if they become a majority in the Senate, and if they have one of their own elected president, our country is done. The country that we know is done. Bizarro world. Yeah. I just don't know how to wrap my brain around this. I don't know what I should do. I don't know what I would do. Would I do something if I was a younger man? I don't know. I'm not suggesting violence, so don't turn me in. I don't know what to say anymore. It's heartbreaking, truly heartbreaking. And it's the same kind of violence that happened in Iraq and when ISIS cuts people's heads off. It's the same kind of human that would be able to do that as somebody that would perform that kind of an abortion. And then turn around and maybe save somebody's life. Here's what's ironic. Say somebody gets drunk and plows head on and kills a woman with a baby in her womb. They call that a double homicide. So the baby is a human when he's killed by a drunk, but he's not a human when he's killed by an abortion doctor. Go figure. I mean, who makes sense of this kind of stuff? I don't know what else to say about it. I don't know where. I think reading the comments, most of y'all are as stumped as I am. Oh, so you're back, BC. Hey, Sue, how are you? So let's talk about something else. I thought that would be the thing I would end the show on, but I just can't talk about it anymore. It brings me almost to the point of tears if I keep talking about it. So let's talk about the wall. I want a wall. I am 100% for a wall. But here's where me and a lot of Republicans take different paths. I am for DACA. I'm also for amnesty. Let me tell you why. I don't think you could send kids back to Mexico since they weren't responsible for coming here. And a lot of them have been educated here and they have lives here. I'm sorry, I got a cough. I've been having a real sore throat lately. And I think it's inhumane to round up people whose crime was coming here illegally and their motivation was to give their children a better life. So if I could snap my fingers and say no more illegals, a very tall wall, and we let the people who are here, who have started lives and who haven't broken any other laws, like, we have murderers and gangbangers. I want to round up the gangbangers and send them back south. But people who came here for a better life, to work, and I don't think it's right to send them back, man. I really don't. It's certainly not right to send their children back. So that's where I stand on that. I definitely want a wall. I want to stop illegal immigration. And I want to stop the drugs and the violence and the cartels from sending their hitmen across here and the kidnappings that happen along the border. MS-13, yeah, for sure. Yeah, Daniel says something. What is it in Daniel's? In the end, my wife was telling me about it today, and I've already forgotten it. No, I listen to my wife. It just doesn't stick. There's not enough sponge in there to stop stuff from going here and coming out here. And I'm probably not the only man that has that problem. Yeah, yeah, Ricky. There's kids that don't even speak Spanish. I mean, you're gonna dump a bunch of kids who don't know a thing about Mexico off in a completely foreign land. Yeah, he couldn't do that. And I honestly don't think Donald Trump. I think that's a carrot he's dangling. I don't think Donald Trump could ever do that. And as far as amnesty, I think that's a big carrot he's dangling. And I think that the only reason Democrats want to leave the wall down, my belief, is that it's their future voter base. Black folks who have traditionally voted Democrat, which is another thing that stumps me, since throughout history, the Democrats were all KKK members were Democrats. All slave owners were Democrats. But somebody told black people that somewhere along the lines, Democrats became Republicans and Republicans became Democrats. Uh, I don't know why anybody would believe that, but the Democratic Party has been the party of racism since the dawn of two parties. And hey, Gravy. So anyway, more and more black folks are waking up. More and more black folks are voting outside the Democratic Party, whether it be Republican or Libertarian. So they're losing a large portion of their voter base. And man, I'm sorry, I got a real bad sore throat. Yeah, he was assassinated by a Democrat. So they're using Mexicans as their future voter base. I believe that with all my heart. Since they're not humanitarians by nature, Democrats, they would have an ulterior motive for letting people who don't belong here in at any cost, no matter who. Oh, I don't smoke, Dina. I haven't smoked in 30 years. Not not cigarettes. I'm kidding. I don't smoke pot either. The only reason I don't smoke pot is because it's illegal. The movie Lincoln. I'll look for that, Rob. Yeah, I do believe I believe we should vet anybody that came here illegally, and people that have come here to get an education and to work and be part of the American dream. I think deserve to stay here. Hey, Misty Valley. Uh, and people that have come in here and committed crimes. I don't mean petty crimes, major crimes, felons. They get to go back. Well, I know Wheatree. I know a guy personally, and his name is Vicente. Vicente. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Uh, he came here illegally as a child, and I've known him for years and years and years, and he is illegal, still illegal. And he has tried and tried. He's had lawyers. He's tried to become legal. He met a woman here. He married. He has kids. He bought a house, and he's still illegal. And he is exactly the person that you would want to be a legal citizen in our country. I don't know why they make it so hard for him. If I could vouch for him, I would. And back when I was a long haul trucker, I gave him my phone number. I said, if they ever send you back to Mexico and you can get back, you call me. I'll pick you up. I would have done it. And I've also fed illegals. I was breaking the law doing that. I've given them water. I mean, they're humans. Even though they're breaking the law, you can't let people suffer just because they crossed the line. I used to run the. Hold on. It's not illegal at my house. Yeah. Here's another thing. The only access I would have to pot would be who knows where it comes from, and probably it would come from south of the border. And the things they do to people to get that pot here, man, I want no part of. If pot ever became legal, I would grow my own, and I wouldn't even smoke it. I'd have to make brownies, or because I have lung problems. Yeah, heading back to Mexico. I am one ugly guy. How long you been here? Have you been here for the whole chat? I just now noticed you because, well, you're kind of ugly. He's lost 100 pounds. That man has lost 100 pounds. Jerk. That's another thing I wanted to talk to you about. My weight. I am a very fat guy, and it's got to the point. Hey Tony, be looking in your mail. I sent you something. Yes, I still have your address because if I get in trouble, I'm using your name and address. I'm kidding, but I sent you something. As a matter of fact, I think you should have it Monday. So be looking for it. I owed it to you. Okay, you bought something from me, and it ended up not being. Anyway, when you get this, we're even, buddy. What was it? Oh yeah, my weight. Oh God, I'm sick of being fat, man. It affects everything I like to do, and I can't keep playing the clothes in my closet are suffering from the shrinking phenomenon. I'm a dumpling. That's pretty good. A dumpling on walking sticks. Yeah, that's pretty much me too. Skinny legs. Everywhere else I'm big, from the legs, from the waist up. I am going to try low carb, but here's what I'm also trying. I've got an appointment for what do they call it? A lap band. I think it's called a lap band, and I'm going to start the process. It's a long process to actually be approved, and your insurance to approve it. So I'm going to do that, and this Sunday I'm starting my low carb, no carb. I'm going to do no carb at first, and then low carb one more time. I don't know why down to 188. Well, I want to talk to you how you did that, but I won't be able to read and talk because I'm not too smart. So I've done the low carb before on the road, and that was hard because everything on the road is greasy and fat and okay, Vlad, uh, we're not going to get real dirty. It's okay to joke a little bit, but don't get any worse than that, please. If you're a good guy, that's okay, but I'm watching you. So I'm starting a diet this Sunday, and I'm going to give it my best effort. And if I fail again, I'm going to get surgery. And I'm actually a stapler. They're going to staple my lips shut. Keto, yeah, I actually know people that have lost a lot of weight. Okay, Vlad, I just wanted to make sure you weren't going to get any. Honestly, I don't recognize the name, so I would just be cautious. Hello from East Texas. Jim, whereabouts in East Texas? I'm over in Wascom. Yeah. 57 pounds on keto, huh? 407 pounds. Yeah. I was 561 at one time. Wow. Well, I'm about 330. And I've already got problems from an accident at work, and it's just ruined my back and my neck. And this weight is not helping things. And now my my knees are starting to hurt. My ankles are starting to hurt. And I'm having a hard time sleeping because of my weight. I sleep with a CPAP machine, and even if I do lose weight, I'm still going to have to sleep with it because I've got other problems. I'm not going to go into it. It's just I'm very happy to be alive, and very happy that I can get up and do things. But the weight has really affected my enjoyment of everything I like doing. So I've got to do something about it. I'm 58. If I let it keep on going, I'm going to have diabetes, and I don't. And my dad had diabetes, and he was a fat guy his whole life, and he had a welding shop, so it didn't stop him from, you know, participating in life, but it did change his life when he had diabetes. It's what killed him ultimately. And I worry about that. And I'm the only fat person in my family now. None of my brothers are fat. None of my sisters are fat. So I don't believe it's genetic. Some people, I'm not making excuses. The reason I'm fat is because I eat a lot. And the reason I eat a lot is because I love food. And, I don't do drugs. I don't smoke. I don't drink a drop of alcohol. I haven't in 30 years. But I like to eat. And I like bacon. So there you are. Yeah, that if I'm going to start this process for the lap band surgery, and one of the things they do is send you to classes first before they even approve you. So that's going to be part of what I'll be doing. You're a puppy, huh? I don't feel like a puppy. I feel like a wore out old hound dog. Yeah, diabetic ulcers. Yeah, I saw you mention that. Hey, Roger, you're too short for your weight. So that's what it is. You have a height problem, not a weight problem. That's it. I have a height problem. I should be like 8 foot tall, and my weight would be fine. Yeah, wintertime is the worst. And here's what I do know: that stress triggers my want to eat reflex, and I have been under a lot of stress lately. So, yeah, being fat didn't used to bother me, but it really bothers me now. And to be honest with you, it takes a lot of, I won't say courage, but it takes a lot for me to actually get in front of the camera because I'm embarrassed about my weight. I'm embarrassed I'm this size. And in the past, people have said some pretty mean things, and I'm just a person with feelings like everybody else. Just because I'm fat doesn't mean I don't have feelings. It just means they're a little deeper under the skin. So I've pretty much eliminated most of the jerks from my channel, and I've showed you my block list. It's that long. I got like probably 300 or 400 people on my block list, and big gulp. Huh? So yeah, I got a lot of comments about my size there for years until I finally worked my way through most of the jerks. I'm the average size, yeah. I'm plus size. Oh, for sure, yeah. Being a truck for 35 years, that was the high point of your day. Truck driving was such a boring job. Uh, there was nothing, food was the high point of your day. And I ate out of boredom a lot of the times, and now I eat because I think I'm hungry, and I'm really not. But actually, when I get my shop going, I'll have a lot to do to keep my mind off eating, off food. So that's going to help. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. You're a diabetic, Greg? Well, I'm sorry to hear that. It's causes a lot of other things if you're not compliant. And that's what killed my dad was he was non-compliant and he ate things he shouldn't have. And the candy, stuff like that. And he died a very long, slow death. Who never calls? Do I have your phone number? You're my friend. You're my special friend. Us round guys got to stick together. Oh, that's right. You're not round anymore. Yeah, that's why I don't call. Wheatree, you're 5 foot tall. My God, I'd have to have binoculars. Oh, down there. How you doing, Wheat? Your kryptonite is lifesavers, huh? Well, I haven't been fat all my life. I've been fat about, let's say, about 20, 22, 23 years. When I moved into the house in Sibley, the house where my last shop was, we lived there about 22 years. And that's when I started getting fat at that house. And I'll tell you what, also, that's when I taught my wife to drive. And there was absolutely, for 22 years, there was no exercise. It was drive, eat, sleep, eat, drive, eat, sleep. I mean, there was no stopping. There was, the truck rolled 24/7, so you didn't get up and walk. And up until then, I usually pulled flatbed or something that took a lot of effort to load and unload and strap and chain, and there was lots of walking and moving around and throwing chains over stuff. So I was really active. And then when I taught my wife to drive, the loneliness went away, but the sedentary, I became super sedentary for weeks and weeks at a time. Well, let's see, 8 more minutes. So I'm going to talk 8 more minutes or read. I'll read 8 more minutes. So let me see. Did I talk about everything? Talked about my shop. I talked about weight loss, amnesty, abortion. Yeah, I can't talk about abortion anymore. It's made me very unhappy with my country for letting this happen. Hey, Hillbilly Bob. Round and fuzzy like a peach. Oh, you do heavy haul. Cool. So you're probably in good shape. Here's something embarrassing. I used to be able to pick up 20 feet of log and chain, man, and throw it up over a high load. No problem at all. The other day, I tried throwing some chain over a load. It was embarrassing. I looked around to see if anybody was watching. It was that embarrassing. Yeah, I couldn't get that chain up over that load for nothing. I finally had to throw a rope over and then pull the chain up like a girl. That was embarrassing. So I have lost a lot of those muscles. And, the cheater pipes, chaining down loads with a cheater pipe and all that. I really, I think flatbed was the most enjoyable that trucking ever was. It was the hardest work, but it was the most rewarding. And I liked the places that I went and the people that I dealt with. When I pulled tanker, I went to a lot of union places pulling tanker, and boy, union people treat you so bad when you're not union. And then, pulling tanker, you're always coming into a plant or out of a plant. And 99% of the plants I went into were union. So you get that typical union, typical to me. I mean, every union shop I ever loaded at or unloaded at, I got treated like crap. And when I bought my own truck, I've mentioned this before. I quit going to union shops, and if somebody offered me a load, the first question I had was, "Is it a union shop or non-union shop?" Because I no longer load or unload it at union shops. Hey, DW Odom, glad you're here. Uh, but flatbed, I really enjoyed flatbed, even though it was much, much harder work. And then when I got onto dry van, I hauled reefer a little bit, and that was hard work. You had to load and unload. I mean, it was a lot of work. And then I taught my wife how to drive, and we pulled tanker for a little while. And then we got with forward air, and we pulled the dry van. No, you hooked up to a loaded trailer, you drug it across the country and dropped it. And you hooked up to another loaded trailer and drug it back across the country. So the very little outside work other than cranking up the dollies and kicking your tires. Shit. The reason my throat is sore is I've had problems with my CPAP machine, and at night it is drying me out. Well, I finally got it straightened out. I had to call the CPAP company, and this is scary. They can see my machine through Bluetooth. I have no idea. They can't explain it to me, and I don't want to know. And they fixed my machine over the air, so now it's humidifying and putting moisture. When I breathe, it's putting moisture in my throat. But for a couple of weeks, it was killing me, and I can't sleep without it. So I had to. Anyway. Yeah, Noah's Ark. Yeah, You know, if I worked at a machine shop or a plant, you know, and they had a union, I'd become a union member. But I've never understood why they treat non-union people who have to work also so poorly. I've never got that. A 4-axle, Pete. My God, what's the wheelbase on that? Got to be 300 or more. Mouth taping? You're pulling my leg. You just want to see me put duct tape on my mouth. Do I like Freightliner trucks? E-Spears? I do not. I am not a Freightliner guy. I'm a Kenworth guy first and a Peterbilt guy second. I'm not even a Mack guy. Macks are basically Volvos now. Volvo owns Mack. And even the Mack engines are just Volvo engines painted Mack colors. So I'm a Kenworth guy, 100%. And then if I couldn't get a Kenworth, I'd have a Pete. And the only reason I like Kenworths is because the sleepers are big. You can get an 88-inch sleeper in a Kenworth W900 studio sleeper. And I just like a long wheelbase. The harder it was to get around corners, the more I liked them. And they rode better, too. Surgical tape to tape your mouth shut? I can't do that, man. I have claustrophobia. Just seeing myself in this little box here is driving me nuts. I'm kidding. It's not that bad, but... Well, guys, it's been almost an hour. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad you let me get the abortion thing off my chest. Don't know where to go with that. But 260-inch wheelbase. Wow, that's not that long. My not last Kenworth, but the first Kenworth was almost 300 inches long. I had a lot of space between my cab and my trailer. So thanks for being here, y'all. I enjoyed it. We'll do it again soon. Take care.